I grew up born in '62, right across from Gate 5 of Avondale Shipyard, pretty much in the heart of the shipyard. It was a different childhood. We had a shipyard to play in. My immediate family, mother, father, and my siblings, we are combined 147 years total. The shipyard has been, our life.
My mom worked in 19 department as a rigger, and she was one of the first women to be a rigger in the shipyard back in 1970.
Yeah, I have a strong family legacy with Ingalls. My dad worked here, my mom worked here. I had 3 brothers worked here, 1 sister, aunts and uncles. They all raised their kids here.
I met my husband here at Avondale. A lot of my family worked here. My dad, my aunts, uncles. I also had a brother who worked here in the safety store.
And my mother started working out here as a welder. And by her working out here, she had a chance to get our first house that she able to buy herself. And we were so happy, She worked out here like 10 years herself. Made a big difference in our lives, really did.
My first job at the shipyard, I was a cable puller working for a supervisor named Lou Ball Olson. The advice he gave me, if I can make it through the first week, I might have a career at the shipyard. First class man said we needed a sky hook. We was hanging a telephone booth foundation down in the engine room.
Oh, the pranks of the shipyard. The famous one is the sky hook. Go find me a sky hook.
So, of course, I took off down the tool room, went and asked that clerk at the front window, said, man, I need to check out a sky hook.
No, we don't have no sky hooks, but you gotta go to the tool room way over here. You go down there, take a left, tool room, but he's already called. So the young man takes off and the other guy's already called that tool room. And they'd make that poor boy walk the shipyard.
When I first came here, there were 25,000 people down here at that time. Because I remember correctly, they set a record when they were doing the DDs. They started living 1 a month. They did that like for about 9 months straight, if I remember correctly. That had never been done before in the history of shipbuilding in the United States. And far as I know, it had never been broken. But they did it. They had to. The employees stepped up, we stepped up.
When I hired in at Ingalls, the docks were covered. 2 LHAs in the water, 2 on the hill, another one coming along. I think the 2 ships that stick out with me the most was my first ship, LHA-1. I think the next one was the Chosin. I was close to the crew there.
Walking the 2 battleships, I can remember distinctly going on board the first time. Being on the deck of this battleship that fought in World War II and the Korean War and all these things, even though they'd been out of service and all that, there's still a life that you felt in it.
Yeah, I decided to go in management when we got the LPD program, LPD 19. And I was able to work 19, 22, 24, and 26. And was able to take them ships all the way to the United States Navy. And that was a pride that you just couldn't believe.
The one ship that we were so proud of was the LPD 21, since it was built with some of the steel from the 911. We were really proud of all the ships we built.
I've seen many things, like our part of building the code. You know what happened here? I helped rebuild it. And we stood on the dock, with a wet dock, watching it come up the river. People were crying. I remember that. Men and women were crying. I thought about the 16 lives that were lost on the dock. And you could feel their presence too. I remember after they got together, they put down 16 stars. I remember walking through there. I could not walk on those stars. I always went around them. I could not walk on them.
I have sisters and brothers that are part of the military. Right now, my baby brother is over in Afghanistan. I think about my brother all day, every day, because I want him to come back home safe. And that's what I used to stress to the apprentice. Do the right thing. Do it right the first time, because we have people's lives at stake when we're building these ships. Don't sit around and be lazy, because we're not going to always be here. And we're moving out, and you guys are moving in.
give your job 110%, learn everything that they're willing to teach you, and even more, because that's one thing that they can't take away from you, or nobody can take away from you, is knowledge.
Well, I have run into a couple young guys that were really sharp. I said, other than your apprenticeship school, go to that college over there. They'll help you pay, depending on your grades, get up to 100% pay. I said, you end up being superintendent and director.
When I was coming up through the rank, we didn't see women superintendents, women boat foremen. Put in for the job if you want it. And now you see women's all over the place. They everywhere.
You know, anytime you see a carrier battle group they show on TV, the newspaper, you cannot find a ship that was not built here. You cannot find a ship I did not work on personally there. Be it a Ticonderoga class cruiser, or Arleigh Burke class destroyer, or LPD, or LHA, or LHD that I did not work on.
Well, when you look at a guy that's done 40 years in a shipyard, man, he could be a paint foreman, laborer, CEO. You know he's seen a lot. You've taken a leadership role somewhere along the line. I know you worked very, very hard and steady and was absolutely a go-to guy.
It wasn't easy, but I would pick myself up and dust myself off and go on. And as I look back over my life, I thank God. I kept on going, because my dad always said working hard pays off. And I worked hard, and it pays off. It got me 40 years. And I'm grateful for Ingalls being here, existing. Thanks be to God, that long. And I hope it be here from now on, because we have kids growing up in this world, and this is a wonderful place to work, a wonderful place.